I'm Mr. DNA, and today we're exploring our top-of-the-line tour vehicles. Here we have number 4. Be sure the license plate and mirror tag match the number painted on the rear flank of your vehicle before each tour deployment. This detail allows the real-time tracking of vehicles in operation around the paddocks and back to the visitor center. The finest leather interiors complement a wood-grain dashboard and a cutting-edge interactive CD-ROM complete with a preloaded tour guide to the park. Under the front seats are high-powered night vision headsets, allowing guests to take an even closer look at their favorite dinosaurs. An easily accessible emergency kit contains a fire extinguisher, 3 road flares, and a Maxa-beam flashlight with a 6 million peak beam candle power, capable of illuminating an object under 2 miles away. If spotted with a lit device by an animal after dark, don't move. Employment contracts release Jurassic Park and the InGen Corporation from any and all liability related to accidental injury, death, or disease sustained during your time on Isla Nublar.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Jurassic World. We haven't taken the time to look at a lot of Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory stuff on the channel, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I just found out the other day that they're going to be wrapping things up with Season 4 of Chaos Theory. It's going to take place during the events of Dominion, so to kind of celebrate that, I guess, for lack of a better term, I want to dive in and take a look at some stuff that's been on my to-do list for a while. Now, on the old playlist that I did back in the day, I did look at this stuff, but since, again, we've relaunched this entire playlist and I've re-recorded this entire series, we're going to be taking a fresh look at this and going over it together today, so let's do this thing.
All of us since we got back to the mainland. That awful night was no accident. We're being hunted!
Now you just say what you do. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nick Rodriguez. I'm one of the writers.
I'm Annie R. Jarasampan.
I'm Sarah Karimipur.
Travis Gunn. I'm also a writer on the show.
Hi, I'm Bethany Armstrong Johnson. I'm the head writer on Jurassic World Chaos Theory.
There became a desire to do a follow-up show to Camp Cretaceous. I called Aaron and chatted Bethany. What do you think about this?
What?
You were a little skeptical that we'd be able to pull off the tone
I
for a
was
kid's
skeptical
show.
that you would be able to pull this off. Yeah.
This keeps happening every time we're together.
We love these characters, obviously, but it would have to be something really unique and special to bring us back. We were talking about what if something had happened to one of their own, having gone their separate ways, coming back together to figure out not only what happened to Brooklyn, but solve this mystery together.
Whenever everybody's excited, that's always a really good sign.
This is incredible.
Dinosaurs are now living amongst us in our every.
Yeah, they, you know, obviously after Fallen Kingdom, the dinosaurs are no longer just confined to the island, which I was a real big fan of Chaos, Camp Cretaceous up until it kind of went off the rails a little bit there in season 4 and 5. But I've learned to kind of overlook it, you know, and I was talking about this in a Pokemon video that I was doing earlier today. And we're kind of in an era where you get what you get, and getting online and complaining about it. And you see millions of YouTube videos across the board of people whining about this, that, and the other. It's really bad with comic book movies and things like that. You look at the last 2 Indiana Jones movies. Those are a really good example. I really liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, or whatever it was called. I happen to really like it. But then again, I didn't grow up with Indiana Jones. I actually found the two Middle Jones movies quite boring, if I'm being completely honest. And I thought Dial of Destiny was kind of meh. I didn't really care for it. But I'm also not going to get online and make 1,000 videos about it and complain and whine and complain and whine. Lord knows I've done that enough in my Let's Plays. So, again, with Jurassic, I've been very fortunate not to dislike anything that has existed across the board for the series. Granted, World is definitely not my favorite out of the two trilogies. It still is important to me and is important to a lot of other Jurassic fans. But I think what they did with Chaos Theory is they captured something that's still Jurassic Park, but at the same time carries its own weight in a unique way without kind of ignoring everything that came before it. And that's really hard to do. That's very difficult to do on any franchise. You see things like the DC universe has been rebooted and rebooted and rebooted ad nauseum, and Marvel kind of had its big penultimate moment with the Avengers Endgame thing, and that was a cultural phenomenon. You know, everybody was super into that stuff, but now that time has passed. And you take something like Jurassic that's never reached that big of a status culturally. It kind of is fortunate in a way that it gives it its own room to kind of do what it wants to do. It doesn't need to like meet those expectations of, say, like a Star Wars or a Spider-Man. It does what it needs to do, and these writers have done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job.
everyday lives, and we got the chance to explore what that would be like, and I thought that was really cool.
Stop!
We really tried to look for places of awe and wonder in each episode. We get to figure out, who these characters are and dive deeper into them.
And to be able to put yourself into that, relationships of all types, going away from the cliche.
I guess we need each other, huh?
One of the things that sets this apart, you're really experiencing this on a personal level.
There is something about that age, just having graduated high school, or after your freshman year of college, where you're really figuring out who the heck you are.
I was a
I'm really happy they aged up the characters. That's something that's bothered me since I was a kid, when cartoon characters just never age, never change clothes, stuff like that. But again, that's a nitpick. But I was glad to be able to come back and see where these characters had gone, and I don't know.
PA when Camp Cretaceous was produced to me as my first time staff writer, first episode that I'm writing was just very special.
Wow. I'm getting motion sick just looking at it.
The fact that we got to do all this cool genre stuff, it really is because of the people making our crazy ideas come to life.
Seeing each stage, writing it, and seeing the boards and the animatics, I was like, wow, this is beautiful.
This is really happening?
Yeah, it's happening.
To just be in a room and collaborate together, the end result just ends up being a stronger story.
You want people with a point of view who bring a different experience, and we got just the perfect room for the show.
We do crew screening, and everyone screamed.
Run!
And everyone knew it was coming.
And everyone knew it was coming. All worked on it. Like,
I'm really quiet, and even I felt compelled to scream, so
I think we lost him.
Now playing. Oh yeah, Netflix. What do I say? If you guys have watched my other stuff, then you know how I feel about streaming services, and I'm still in that era where I'm in that in between phase of them all, showing up all of a sudden overnight, and then a lot of them dying off. I'm still waiting on streaming to kind of settle in, because here's my hot take. It's the same as us scratching our head on the gaming side of like, well, you're already paying for the console and the games, and you're already paying your electricity bill and your internet service provider, and it just keeps stacking up and stacking up and stacking up. And where does it end at the end of the day? I pay for my internet through my service provider, and then I have to go online and pay for streaming, and YouTube wants me to pay for premium, and Twitch wants me to get people subs, and everything is so tied to monetization that it's kind of strangled out most of my opportunities to enjoy anything. Thankfully, there's always a workaround. I've been fortunate enough to be able to watch it without having to kind of bend the knee to Netflix. But I like, if they put it out on disc, I'll buy it. But this is the first time that I've not been able to just straight up buy my Jurassic Park media on home media and bring it home and own it. And I'm not adverse to digital stuff. Like most of my games these days, I have my Steam library, which is all digital. My Switch is 99% digital stuff. Now the Switch 2, I'm still going digital. I got Mario Kart digitally. I'm not above digital stuff, but when it comes to streaming services, I kind of am, because you could just yank that off your streaming service at any time, and then I don't have access to it. So yeah, so always be mindful and be careful of these streaming services, because this stuff could just disappear overnight like that. But I've been thinking about doing a rewatch of all of Camp Cretaceous, and then maybe taking a month or two break and then coming back and rewatching all of Chaos Theory. I think what I'm going to do is wait until Chaos Theory is done. I'm going to watch season 4 when it comes out, and then I'm going to take a break over the holiday season. And then what I may do when spring comes is start a rewatch of the whole thing back to back. It'll give me something to do, and I'll get to relive those glorious moments, because I've only seen the whole series through once when it was new. I didn't, sit down and rewatch a ton of stuff over and over again. So it might be fun to kind of do that. Might be what I end up doing. But there are also a lot of interviews with the cast and the voice actors and everybody over on Jurassic Outpost. So be sure to check out that YouTube channel as well. I will be doing future videos where we take a look at stuff that Jurassic Outpost has put out. They have, they're a huge Jurassic Park channel. So stands to reason that they'll get the exclusive interviews. But I do want to take a look at one other thing before we go today. So let's do that now.
This is not a test. Dinosaurs have been sighted. DPW officers have been dispatched. Please avoid the area.
I'm Scott Kramer. I'm an executive producer of Jurassic World Chaos Theory.
I'm Aaron Hammersley. I'm also executive producer on the series.
Chaos Theory begins 6 years after the kids from Camp Cretaceous arrive back home. And things are different.
They're their own adults now. They're living their own lives. They've pursued what they want to pursue.
And then suddenly Ben comes to Darius.
Ben, what are you doing here? Brooklyn's death was no accident. She was targeted. But why? Who would even want to do that? I don't know for sure. It's a cool opportunity to have this darker tone with these high stakes. Whoever killed Brooklyn is coming after the rest of us too. We need to warn the others.
Tonally, this is a shift for the series as a whole. It was just new territory and something that we hadn't seen before in the Jurassic series, like political conspiracy theory idea.
It's not really just about dinosaurs being the only threat. There are people out there that are actively looking for ways to hurt these kids.
Run!
It felt also like an opportunity for experiencing dinosaurs in a way we hadn't seen before, in a more personal way.
We came off the island, and now everywhere we go, gas stations, our houses, there's dinosaurs everywhere.
We got Pachyrhinosaurus, Nasutoceratops, Atrociraptors, Stygimolochs.
Then you have fan favorites, classics like the T-Rex, and all of the dinosaurs that made the Jurassic World such a famous icon of dinosaurs.
There is a lot.
Of course, now they've kind of walked it back as far as Jurassic World Rebirth is concerned. I guess you do need to kind of scale it back a little bit, because they went all out with Jurassic World. Like, they went back to the original novels, which that was always a theme with the original novels from Michael Crichton, was you can't put a lid on this, you can't contain it. You know, the genie's out of the bottle. You've opened Pandora's box. It's and I'm not just talking about the dinosaurs getting off the island. I'm talking about genetic manipulation. That was the overarching theme there, was that you can't control something so powerful, so audacious. And honestly, I'm surprised at the end of the day that Jurassic as a series has been so restrained in that regard. I think Maisie was the first time that we actually got something that stepped outside of the realm of just using the genetic manipulation and whatnot for the dinosaurs. And I was very appreciative that they went that route. A lot of detractors for the World trilogy weren't even hanging their arguments on the nail of these movies just aren't made well. They were hanging their complaints on the nail of, well, I don't think this is realistic. I don't think this is Jurassic. I don't think that. Well, so much was omitted, I mean, from the original novels throughout the film series. So if you were to go back and follow the novels more closely with the movies, you'd have completely radically different films on your hands. And I think that toward the further you get into Jurassic World, the more that it kind of accepts the reality that Michael Crichton put forth, because in Dominion, you know, you're so far away from InGen and what Wu did at this point. You're getting into bison territory, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next season, with the final season of Chaos Theory, because it's gonna be that big penultimate moment that brings the whole World trilogy together and ties these characters and their story back in. And I don't know what to expect.
A lot of awe and wonder in this series. There's so many moments that allow the audience to just stop and take in what's happening here.
I think we do have something for everybody. There's some great, darker, tense moments, but there's still tons of fun and dinosaurs.
Impressive.
And characters who are really fun to be around. They are going on this amazing adventure.
It's going to be an interesting ride, that's for sure. I don't know where it's going to take us, but I'm on board. I'm on board. The tie-in for the Dr. Pepper thing is over. I'm sad. They've been doing Jurassic tie-ins with Dr. Pepper, and of course Dr. Pepper is the only soda I drink, so makes me happy that the little crossovers are there. But yeah, I've been meaning to take a look at these with you guys for a while. We finally got around to it today. Pretty happy about that. I am going to be trying to, you know, get back to recording Jurassic World videos on a regular basis. It's been a while and things have been kind of crazy and haven't been able to really sit down and work on stuff like I want to. But be that as it may, you guys check out Jurassic World Chaos Theory if you haven't. It's really good story writing, really good animation. The voice acting is great. I have nothing negative to say about it whatsoever. It's great. And no, it's not just for kids. That's something else I've seen people say online is, oh, it's a kid's show. And no, it's not like you're watching Blue's Clues, you know what I mean? It's an adult can watch it, and you don't have to be a Jurassic fan to sit down and watch it. You can still sit down and watch it and be entertained. It's not holding your hand. I mean, it does kind of it limits the graphic stuff a little bit, where the movies might not do so, but still, it's for everybody. So be sure to check that out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.